Celtics. Starting at the guard, 6'4", number 4, the man in the middle, standing 7'2", number 8, at guard, 6'4", number 9, starting at forward, at 6'6", number 7, at forward, number 0,
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. And a quick look at some of the numbers for Jason Tatum.
And, guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. The forwards for him, Bane and Jackson. Ja Morant, he's out there with Wells, and it's Clark in at the center. And for Boston, White in at shooting guard, with Brown playing small forward. The post pair, Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Holiday in at the 1. Well, both these teams, of course, Greg, strong and rebounding. Should be a battle out there.
Nothing easy in the paint, Kevin. Both front courts will be fighting for every possession when they miss.
Now, here's Tatum. Porzingis sets the pick for Tatum. A three-pointer, no good. Here's Morant. Pass to Wells. Here's Clark. And here's Jackson. Wells in the corner. Clock at 4. Bane inside the three-point line. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
He's one of those high IQ players. Bane knows the situation and prevents the shot clock violation.
So it's the Celtics now. Holiday, he's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. And it's Brown missing. Now here's Wells. He's tightly guarded. Brown against Bane. Takes a 3. And the 3 ball is good. Bane's got 5 now.
And he just lights it up from downtown. Bane, so dangerous from out there.
Greg, no one questions the Grizzlies' talent. The challenge has always been availability.
Yeah, whether it's been injuries or suspensions, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're missing key players. But when they're all on the floor, Kevin, they can beat anyone.
Here's Jackson. Jason Tatum picking up that last basket. Jackson passes to Wells. Morant against Holiday. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
That's good from Morant. Doris, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously, this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes. They led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
Now an all-NBA caliber talent, Morant still feels like he has room to improve.
Here's Tatum. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you watch Jason Tatum, year to year, he is a model of consistency across the board. The numbers are pretty similar, and the effort never wanes.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Tatum. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
And the way the Celtics can attack teams, Doris, with their 5-out set, it's impossible to fully defend it.
Kevin, there is so much space on the floor because they have shooters at every single position and guys who balance that shooting with an ability to get off the dribble drive. This is as good an offense as we've seen.
Now, here's Clark. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Jackson from long range. And again, Memphis no good. Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. It's to Porzingis. Here's White. It's rebounded by Memphis.
Boy, just 1 for 4. A little brisky right now.
And the rejection by Tatum.
There's a pride to the defensive end of the floor. Tatum sends that back.
And Derek White picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust.
Attention fans now on the court. It's your high squad. Get loud and live no hearing. While the t-shirt makes some noise.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Aldama's checked in. Let's take this chance to look at the teams that have been the league's most efficient passers this past month. The Grizzlies 4th.
And what stands out during this recent stretch is just how well they passed the basketball. I mean, this is a club that has become really unselfish.
So it's the Grizzlies now. It's a 3-point game. There's a screen by Aldama. And another miss by Memphis. And so White will bring it up for the Celtics. Pass to Tatum. Porzingis kicks to Holiday. Tatum setting the pick for Holiday. The shot goes down and he gets this game back to even.
Yeah, by most standards, Drew Holiday is very selective with his three-point shooting, but boy, he can knock it down.
Up top, Aldama. He's covered by Brown. Yep, it counts.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hey, Kevin, briefly spoke with Joe Mazzulla. Well, of course, they're concerned about the dynamic Ja Morant. Coach told me the plan is simple. Make things as hard as they can on Ja on both ends of the floor. Make him work on defense, and by crunch time, maybe we can tire him just a little bit. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. And here's Morant following the three from Drew Holiday. Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis 7-3 says not here and not now.
Outside, White. Inside. Porzingis inside. He's covered by Clark. Nice shot by Porzingis.
You simply must put a body on this guy. You know he's going to try to get to that glass.
Pass to Aldama. Now, here's Bane. Off target from outside.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Tatum driving to the basket. And let's take a look at the last handful of seasons and the steal numbers for Jaren Jackson.
And his steal numbers have taken a big jump these past few seasons. He's dedicating himself at the defensive end with a lot more energy, and it's made him a matchup that opponents truly have to worry about. He can do some damage with his D.
And that one falls for Tatum.
What impresses me about Jason Tatum are his work habits, his commitment in the offseason to adding something else to his arsenal. We know he can play high-level basketball on both ends. The sky is the limit.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Off's jacked in. Jaren Jackson comes in for Santi Aldama. Marcus Smart's checked in for Wells. And Pippen subbed in for John Morant. And so Tatum nails them both. The Grizzlies trail by 5. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Kept alive. Jackson has the open look. And another miss by Memphis. For Boston, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Tatum passes to Brown. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the first. Just 5 to shoot. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Well, this is where the powerful frame and explosive athleticism of Jaylen Brown becomes a problem for the opponent. Nicely done.
Now here's Bane. He has 5. And again, Memphis no good.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
The kick out to Brown. Over Smart. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's the Boston Celtics heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And when you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what do you think?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
It's been a few years now, Doris, but it feels like point guard is the position in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, we certainly have our share of great point guards. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they seem to be in the MVP conversation consistently. But the last couple MVPs, you look back, you've got a couple of centers. For a long time, the small forward spot dominated the game. It's really something that's in constant flux.
Tatum and Horford man the post positions. And it's Pritchard in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. Here's Pritchard. He has yet to score. Pippen with the steal. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Celtics can beat you in a number of ways. Point guard Jrue Holiday said, We can play small and big. We have great bench players who come in and change the game at any time and could start on other teams. And we have a hunger. Kevin, they're going to be a problem for a long time.
Agreed. Yeah, they are stacked, DA, for sure.
Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Tatum against Jackson. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And a quick look at how the Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Friday, they'll face off against Ben Simmons and the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Sunday, they'll go up against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers.
And that game against the Warriors, on paper, you'd expect them to come away with the win, but this might be one of those trap games where they let it get away from them if they aren't focused.
And that one falls for Tatum. Boston making a switch here. Springer's checked in. And so Tatum nails them both. And it's Smart with the ball for Memphis. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Pass to Aldama. Pippen outside. And Pritchard pulls it down. The Celtics with the lead. Tatum with it. 8 points for him. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on Jaren Jackson.
Boy, over the years, Tatum has really mastered the art of drawing fouls.
For Boston, they have been excellent at the free throw line. Here today, a flawless 6 for 6.
Shoot 2.
That one is off. Some changes for Memphis. Laravia's checked in, and Conchar subbed in for Santi Aldama. Good on the second free throw. Here's Pippen. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. We get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at the Grizzlies, off to a great start this season, currently in second.
When I look at Memphis, they've gotten off to a terrific start this year. We knew they were capable of playing terrific basketball, and so far, they have not disappointed.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been any feeling out process for them at the start of the season. They were in peak form immediately.
Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Into the lane. Yep, that one goes.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Pippen's gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Outside, Horford.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Clark, he's checked in for Memphis. Ja Morant comes in for Pippen.
Checking in for the Grizzlies, Brandon Clark, Ja Morant.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. That one doesn't go. Good work defensively by Smart. Here's Morant. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Just superior focus from Morant. His determination is what allows him to convert through contact.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Memphis.
I like how they've worked the ball inside, getting looks closer in there, and that really helps your offense.
Yeah, and what an excellent display of passing in the early stages of this game. A good deal of their points coming directly off quality passes.
And it's hard to pick a more electrifying player in the league than Ja Morant. He explodes off the floor.
And there's the whistle, 3-second violation.
And now look at Jason Tatum here. The past month has been surreal. And he's among the top 15 in rebounding, just a powerful presence in the paint.
And you noted it, his points per game average is unreal right now. He's literally propping up the team's offense, scoring whenever they need him to. Jaylen Brown's checked in for the Celtics. White comes in for Pritchard. Smart passes to Morant. Smart with this screen on Holiday. Now here's Morant for three. Connects from three-point range. Morant's got 8 points.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Tatum down low. He's against Clark. That one's good, and the Grizzly lead is cut to just 3 points on the basket from Tatum. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 15-5 run. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Bain comes in for John Concha, and Wells is subbed in for Smart.
Boy, 9 times out of 10, that's going in. I'm sure he surprised himself with the miss.
Got a piece of it. Tatum with it. Guarded now by Clark. Tatum looking around. Some solid defense from Clark.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Now here's Morant. 8 points for him. Clock at 6. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against Detroit.
Oh, my goodness. How about that move by Jaylen Brown? That is spectacular.
Awesome display of athleticism captured by our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. 1:31 left to play in the first half. You know, Doris, few teams have tried to invite Brown to be a shooter. He's punished them each and every time.
And he's had to put in the work, Kevin, to make himself a legit perimeter threat. And listen, the defense has to make choices. Athletically, this is one of the most gifted players in the league. If you're going to concede anything to Jaylen, it would probably be the three-point shot.
The Celtics making a switch here. Hauser's checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. Smart's checked in. .127 left in the first half. Memphis moving that ball around. Clark, the pass to Wells. In the corner, Smart with it. Pass to Wells. 6 to shoot. Bane inside the three-point line. And another miss by Memphis.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, coming out of high school at 6'0", Derek White didn't receive any full scholarship offers. He says it was humbling, but it drove me to get better. Each time you have the doubters, you just put a little chip on your shoulder. The 29th pick overall in 2017 has come a long way. Kevin, those chips are still there.
You're so right, David. Thanks. He's become a heck of a player. Now, Morant. After Jaylen Brown's three-pointer that didn't go. Porzingis with the block.
And with that 7'6" wingspan, Porzingis has always been a big-time shot blocker.
And that kind of stifling effort on defense needs another look.
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
Luke Cornett, he's checked in for Boston. Here's Wells. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Well, it's trying to close the quarter strong, and by that, take a great shot without giving them an opportunity for another one down the other end. Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
Fires from way outside. No good on the last second attempt there. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Boston on top. They're up by 1. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Here with Jason Tatum. You have been rolling early. How did you get in that rhythm?
Just staying aggressive. Just continue to get in the gym and see something go in. It feels good to see him go in early. And it felt good to have us have a good start. Hopefully we keep it up.
Yeah, it was flowing great in that first half, Jay. Thanks very much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Hello, everybody. So far, a fairly even game for the Memphis Grizzlies through the first 2 quarters.
We've talked about it in the past. They have a deep rotation. That allows them to play matchups.
So why aren't they ahead in this game? And I'll tell you why. The starters have to do more.
And later on, some more NBA action to look forward to. Here are the games coming up. The Charlotte Hornets will go up against the Bulls in Chicago. 8 p.m. Eastern, that one gets started.
I think this game is going to be closer than many people think.
The kind of game where the underdog often comes away with the win. Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You know, guys, Jason Tatum has really been making it happen.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
And let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Here's Morant. Kicking off the second half, here's Taylor Jenkins's 5. The forwards for him, Bane and Jackson. Wells is out there with Morant, and it's Clark in at the 5 down low. Now, here's Bane. The 3-ball. Rebound, Boston. Porzingis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Tatum, stolen by Jackson. Brown against Bane. Morant outside. Pass to Jackson. Over Tatum. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Morant. Jackson's got the first bucket of the third here for Memphis. Now Here is Holiday. He's got 6. Here's Porzingis. Holiday, the pass to Tatum. Inside Tatum.
When you allow Jason Tatum to build momentum offensively, it can be a scary night.
And we all hear talk about Jrue Holiday's defense, but you know, Doris, he is much more than that. You've said it countless times.
Kevin, this is a guy who's a tremendous rebounder for a guard, a very willing playmaker. He can carry a scoring burden if you need him to, but he's also willing to take a very limited number of shots. It's all about the team with him.
Here's Holiday. Brandon Clark picking up that last basket. Tatum from 3.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Taking a look at Boston. They're in second, looking to take over the first spot.
And when you look at Boston, what an ideal start for them this season. I mean, it takes some teams a while to kind of come together. Not this group. They were ready right from the start.
And what a good feeling it is to play such high-quality basketball so early in the season. This kind of start sets the foundation for what could be a monster year.
Morant against Holiday. 5 on the clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. No good from Clark. And so Holiday will bring it up for Boston. The lead is 2. White finds Brown. Over Bain. Again, the Celtics good for 2.
Wow, what a start. 3 for 3. Terrific play calling. Everything clicking out of the gates here.
Pass to Wells. On the wing, Bain. And here is Wells. Hasn't made one yet. And here's Morant. The 3. Rebounded by the Celtics. Tatum's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's the teardrop. And the rejection by Jackson. A sensational block that definitely deserves another look.
And guys, that is lockdown defense at its finest. Going right at the shot and then able to knock it away.
Pritchard, he's checked in for Derek White. Pritchard passes to Brown. Some nice ball movement here by the Celtics. Lets it go. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Wells passes to Clark. Porzingis with the steal. Tatum draws the double. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. 18 points for Jason Tatum.
Well, that mid-range jumper is so on point. Jason Tatum is a 3-level scorer.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Outside Jackson. Sinks the three-pointer.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful. And because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Celtics leading by 3. Pass to Pritchard. In the corner. Tatum with it. Brown outside. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Brown against Bain. Morant outside. Shot clock at 6. With some arc, and the layup is up and in. Now just a 1-point Celtic lead.
And no problem for Morant that close to the hoop. Once he gets inside, he makes it look easy.
There's 1:54 left in the third. Brown against Bain. Outside, Porzingis to the inside. Tatum finds Porzingis. Good on the triple. Porzingis has got 5 points so far.
Well, this is where Porzingis thrives. He is shot ready on the catch.
The Grizzlies trail by 4. .124 left to play in the third. To the paint, here's Clark. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Porzingis.
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Santi Aldama's checked in for Jaren Jackson. Marcus Smart comes in for Wells. And Pippen subbed in for John Morant. The Celtics have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Cornette kicks to Brown. .105 left in the third quarter. Pass to Pritchard. Just 5 on the clock. And good that time. Pritchard's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, this is where you see Jaylen Brown has evolved as a playmaker for his teammates. That's a pretty pass.
Clark outside. Now here's Bain. Pippen outside. Clark sets a screen for Pippen. And then Clark slams it in.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
So it's Boston now. It's a 1-point game. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Here's Cornette. He's covered by Clark. Beyond the arc. And Bain pulls it down. Smart on the wing. He's covered by Brown. Clark sets a screen for Bain. A miss that time. Would have put him up. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Celtics lead by 1. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Well, we have some elite passing big men in the NBA, and you love that skill. Wow.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Tatum in the front court alongside Horford. And it's Cornette in at the 5. That's the Boston 5.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Smart dishes to Pippen. To take the lead. The rebound by the Celtics. And the action on hold as it appears there's been an injury. Yep, he's definitely in a bad way out there right now. Tough to see.
Yeah, it looks like he's in real pain. Definitely a concern right now.
Well, these are the moments that can be gut-wrenching for him and his team, right? Anytime you see an injury like this, certainly your heart goes out to him and to his family.
The Celtics making a switch here. Brown's checked in.
Jaylen Brown.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thanks, guys. Listened in on what Joe Mazzulla told his team. Now it's a close one, so Coach asked his team to keep their focus. He said this game's going to come down to mistakes. If we play clean, we'll win. Great game tonight. Let's see how it winds up. Guys?
Thank you, David. The Celtics with the lead. Horford with the screen on Smart. And the foul on Marcus Smart. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Horford the pass to Cornette. Nice ball movement by Boston. Stolen.
And really, he played mistake-free basketball up to that point. That's the only time he's turned it over so far.
Pass to Conchar. Here's Aldama. Guarded by Horford. To the middle. Brown against Smart. And it's Brown missing. And so it's Pippen with it. He brings it up for the Memphis Grizzlies. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Here's Huff. 6 on the shot clock. To take the lead, Smart. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Celtics shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. Pritchard gets the bucket.
And this is outstanding vision by Jaylen Brown. This guy dishing the ball beautifully to his teammates.
Pass to Huff. Aldama with the ball. Here's Smart. Trying to find Conchar. Gets it to him. Here's Hauser, guarded by Smart. Horford in the post. Over Conchar. Misses off the right iron. The Grizzlies trail by 3. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Pippen dishes to Smart. Pass to Aldama. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one on Horford.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Boston.
They've been active defensively, rotating well, and then also closing out on shots. It's resulted in a number of blocks.
They've also been scoring on the break. With how difficult it is to get buckets in the half court, anytime you can push the ball in transition for easy ones, that's big time.
Free throw good from Aldama. So both teams making some changes here. He's off on the second.
Yeah, being down 2 points instead of 1 thanks to the free throw miss makes getting a stop here absolutely critical.
And White kicks to Holiday. White setting the pick for Holiday. Nailed from three-point land.
Holiday ready to fight for that bucket. Big time delivery.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. He knows every possession is critical now. Clark, he's checked in for Santi Aldama. Now Clark. Morant outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And then Morant slams it in.
A true leader. You can tell Morant takes pride in stepping up when it matters most.
And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Let's check in with David Aldridge for an injury update on Jason Tatum. David.
Hi, guys. Well, the head athletic trainer for Boston provided some information for us. The belief right now is that it's a high ankle sprain. Now, they're still running tests, but the swelling is making that a little more complicated. There's never a good time for injuries, but right in the thick of the season, this is a difficult one to navigate. Kevin?
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
There's no question, because even if you know what's wrong, individuals have different healing times. The time frames can be totally different for similar injuries.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Outside Holiday. Outside Horford. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
What a nice individual defensive effort right there. Did a great job contesting.
Clark. He can't hit that time. Nice D from Porzingis. White inside, and the layup is good. Now it's a 7-point Celtic lead.
Oh, that is impressive stuff from Derek White. Defender in his grill, no problem.
Here's Morant.
Every second counts now. They can't wait around.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip.
Good on the shot.
A huge shot from Morant. Wow, you see why they put the ball in his hands in those situations.
And 1:01 left to play here in the fourth. Brown with it. And an intentional foul right there.
Desmond Bain, first personal foul, second team foul.
.44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Brown. And it's Morant with the rebound.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
And between his footwork and height, Jackson is a tough matchup for defenders. Here he takes full advantage and draws the foul.
First free throw is good, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. So Jackson nails both of them.
And that would have been a killer if he missed one of those, but he was rock solid. That trims the lead now to a one-possession game.
Down low. Nice D from Porzingis. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
At the line for the Celtics, Drew Holiday. At the line for 2 shots.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And the second of 2 is good. That gives them a 4-point cushion. Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 4. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
Trying to stay alive, they've got to work quickly.
This is the very definition of desperation mode right now. They need a quick shot and a quick foul.
Morant scanning the floor. Bain kicks to Morant. Over Holiday. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
Great finish. What a setup. Terrific ball movement there.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. No doubt he is feeling the importance of this moment right now. Seven seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now they foul and stop the clock.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
For the Celtics, Drew Holiday at the line for 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Well, this trip to the line should seal the deal. Amazing job.
There's Jackson with the 3. Count it! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. Coach clearly feeling the necessity to regroup with so much at stake here. And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Giroux. You know that's a team that wants to go inside. How did you make it hard for them?
I really just feel like we really just cracked the paint. Did a good job of doing that. We know they have a lot of pain points, so just being able to keep them out there and try to make it shoot 3. So I think we did a good job.
Yeah, you stuck to the game plan, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now, our player of the game, Jason Tatum.